Hey, Cuba, I got a trade offer for you. We receive your citizens wanting freedom, and you can have our social justice retards wanting communism. For zang-a-lang and salutations, my lovely little lunatics. It's me, your friendly internet psychopath Insanity, here with my co-host Bob. Hello. And today, on the ENSane Report, we're talking about what's going on in Cuba, specifically more along the lines of the last little bit. Not going to go over the whole situation, going to give a blank little bit. And then we're going to be talking about the hilarity that happened with BLM and then Cuba's president coming out and kind of spitting on them. I remember that. Yes, that was pretty funny. But before we do, if you like this video, shake the like button and subscribe for more insanity. Also, follow us on Rumble, Locals, Minds, and PocketNet. Anyways, here we go. We're going to give a quick brief overview. So, from Fox News, Cuban security forces appear to arrest a woman during live TV interview. So, it's been going pretty bad. But yeah, basically that happened. The whole thing where they pulled the internet. Yeah. Cuban protest. Oh, yeah, from even the Wall Street Journal is talking about this. So, you know, it's kind of hard for them not to do so. It must be pretty big. Cuban protesters were powered by the internet. Then the state then pulled the plug. Communist government shutdown of web and telephone services made it hard for Cubans to organize across the country. And that's kind of the scary thing about all this, what's going on. Because that shows that they don't need to be violent, which they are. Yeah, if I remember correctly, what was that? Cuban, this was just protester shot. Yeah, Cuban sees protesting years. Police forces shot a man. Whew. So, yeah. They raided their homes. But, yeah. So, it's pretty crazy. But Biden then comes out. And because the funny thing is, yeah, Biden comes out originally. And he's saying it's about COVID and all. But then he has to actually come out and condemn all this. And so from the Daily Mail, the Cuban people are demanding their freedom from an authoritarian regime. Biden says the U.S. stands firmly with the remarkable protesters and warns communist leaders not to use violence to silence demonstrators. Which, of course, just leads back to, once again, woman getting arrested during her, Social media activist Dina Stars spoke with Spain TV's host Marta Flitch on Tuesday to discuss the recent protests in Cuba. Stars, whose social media posts tens of thousands of followers, has frequently criticized the Cuban government and encouraged protesters via the hashtag SOSCuba. During the interview, a friend of Stars informed her that the state police was waiting outside for her home, forcing her to cut the interview short. But yeah. And yep, she's got to go. And yep, apparently arrested as far as we know. So, yep, Cuban state security forces detain independent journalists. So yes. And then as you saw, they shut down the internet. So yes, they don't need to shoot people, but they have. So that kind of shows how social media, without social media, remember, the instant Trump was kind of taken off the air when, during the actual, he used to do things about what's going on with COVID. Yeah, and then they shut it all off because they didn't want to give him airtime because he was actually doing well because people saw it. But let's get back onto this. President Joe Biden put out a statement on the protests in Cuba Monday morning. He also addressed the Cuban protests at the top of the meeting Monday in the Roosevelt Room. He called the demonstrators remarkable. The Cuban people are demanding their freedom from an authoritarian regime, which he said thousands took to the streets Sunday to denounce communist government for its handling of the economy and for CCP-19. People in Cuba are voicing anger over shortages of basic goods and curbs on civil liberties. The basic good thing is a big thing because here's the biggest thing. Yeah, once again, oh no, it's hard for with all the stuff that was going on during the lockdowns. oh no, we couldn't get, like, I help people build PCs and all that stuff. It was very hard. It was very hard to come across pieces, but people weren't rioting over that. However, right now, I usually go to my local store, my grocery store, and I usually get 2 packets of 4 tilapia fillets that are blackened and seasoned, and that's usually $6.30.
And when we looked to get them literally 2 days ago, it was like $8.40.
Yeah. Gas price, it's once again, it's coming down to when food and basic necessities are hard for the average person to obtain, which once again, go look at New York. Go look at what's happening there.
Yeah, the simple fact that, okay, you earn $1,900 a month. You live in a $2,600 apartment, so you obviously need someone else there. You need a roommate. And after that $1,900, you only get back $1,300 from all the taxes. Why stay?
Yeah, because it's just at that point, there's no point. It's so hard to get basic necessities and just live that people eventually lose their minds and then violence starts. U.S. Department was slammed for suggesting the protests were over rising CCP-19 cases and deaths.
Why would they say that?
Simple. What is our government trying to do?
Pretty much become a communist state.
Exactly. And they need communism, real communism, not like this fake communism, obviously, to actually work. So they got to come out. So the problem is, though, it's kind of the point that they have to actually acknowledge what's going on.
Yeah, don't tell that to BLM.
We'll get to that in a second. President Miguel Diaz-Canel, whatever, who heads the Communist Party, blamed U.S. for the unrest in a televised speech. Yeah, of course. Blame everyone but yourself, which they actually do come out and say that it is partially their fault later.
Wasn't that the exact same day that BLM put the one thing out?
We'll see. I think it is. The protest broke out in San Antonio de los Banos municipality in the Artesian province, bordering Havana. Hundreds of residents chanted anti-government slogans and demanded vaccines and end to daily blackouts.
Oh, God, I can't imagine that.
Yeah, if there were blackouts here where I live, God, that'd be awful.
Oh, yeah, just going outside is miserable at this point.
It is, but luckily the rain keeps coming in through.
That does help a bit.
But anywho, so let's go over here to good old, what was it, blatant leftist Marxism. Or blatant leftist Marxist. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what I used to call them. But anyway, whoop. Okay, yeah, we'll have to go back down. Whoop. BLM blames cruel and inhuman U.S. embargoes for Cuban unrest and praises the communist regime for granting black revolutionaries asylum.
Yeah, the U.S. doesn't have to trade with anybody.
Yeah. If they can't make it on their own, then that's just natural selection.
Which is funny, because isn't that what's going on with California?
Oh, yeah, with that one fish that can't swim so well.
Fish that can't swim and they're trying to protect it.
I know. California is stupid. Black Lives Matter accused the U.S. of causing the instability that sparked protests. Once again, sorry, but if the government can't keep their people fed and happy, then it's probably their government's fault. Activists also praised the regime for showing solidarity with oppressed people.
Yeah, that's hilarious, seeing as they're oppressed people.
It is. Demonstrations over food shortages and rising prices have rocked the island. The group also praised Cuba for harboring Assata Shakur, a convicted cop killer and former Black Panther who has been hiding on the island for nearly 40 years.
Yeah, of course they would.
But yeah, Black Lives Matter condemns, blah, 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 yeah. Since 1962, the United States has forced pain and suffering on the people of Cuba by cutting off food, medicine, and supplies, costing the tiny alien nation an estimated $130 billion. We don't have to do trades with them. Sorry, that's the way the world works. One group does not have to trade with another group. If you cannot be self-sufficient, then sorry, find someone else to help you figure that out. Without that money, it's harder for Cuba to acquire medical equipment needed to develop its own CCP-19 vaccines and equipment for food production. This comes in spite of the country's strong medical care and history of lending doctors and nurses to disasters around the world. Yes, there are some good doctors. But then there are also plenty of doctors who just, I'm a doctor now. Yeah, whatever. I don't care enough to keep reading. But this is actually pretty funny because they came out saying, yeah, no, it's obviously the U.S. government's fault. Cuban president acknowledges his government's shortcoming as demonstrators take to the streets for a fourth day to pressure Biden to intervene.
Whoops.
Yeah. So sorry, you blatant lying Marxists, but seems like even the president of the place you were saying has no fault blames he has fault. For the fourth day in a row, Cuban Americans took to the streets of Miami to protest Cuban government. Meanwhile, Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel acknowledged government errors that sparked protests. Senator Marco Rubio warned Cuba faces a horrific bloodbath if Biden administration doesn't step in. I mean, it's Biden. I don't really know how well he's going to put his foot in his mouth on this one.
Boiled brain Biden.
Yeah, and also since our Navy is garbage at the moment, this may not go well. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki dodged a question.
She'll circle back around to it.
Yes, on the communist regime at her briefing. Yeah, I remember seeing this. That was awful. Psaki instead suggested government mismanagement was behind the demonstrations. Yeah, no duh. Cuban government launched a crackdown on protest after a large-scale demonstration erupted on Sunday. I'm not even going to try. 36 years old, died Monday in the suburb of Havana during a clash between protesters and police. Witnesses claim the security forces had responded to demonstrators with gunshots after they threw rocks. Don't throw rocks at police, but
at the same time, when they were trying to burn, when BLM and Antifa were trying to burn stuff down, they didn't just light them up.
Which, this is why I believe in rubber bullets. Just get a fully automatic, just fully automatic M249 and put rubber bullets in and light the idiots up. Social media activist Dina Stars was arrested live on TV by Cuban security forces on Tuesday. So, yes. It's hilarious because finally the Cuban government has to come out and say, yeah, it's not the U.S.'s fault. We do have some fault here. And let me check. What was that? July 14th? And when was the Black Lives Matter thing? July 15th. So pretty much within a day of that kind of happening. Or actually, let me make sure. It was a tweet or something. I don't care. They praise the communist government. It's hilarious that they praise the communist government. Government comes out and says, oh, yeah, we screwed up. Please help us. But yeah, the other bigger thing about all this is the fact that they went and they arrested, they shut down the internet. They shut down the phone lines. So could you imagine today if that just happened?
Yeah, that would be awful because just what we're doing, YouTube videos.
Yeah, that's how we get this information out. That's just gone. My family, I have to go. We'd have to quite literally drive 20 minutes to go see my dad, to go talk with him, and just, I'll be honest, I don't know really anyone in my apartment complex too well. I know some people just from helping them with tech stuff, but other than that, it's like I'm not going over to my neighbor next door to ask for a cup of sugar.
Yeah, those days are long gone.
And that's the scary part. Also, could you imagine how, already the Postal Service is god-awful.
Oh, yeah, FedEx and UPS would skyrocket, and just, the USPS would just crumble.
Yeah, no, they would be destroyed. But yeah, that's the whole thing. It's scary that, without the ability to communicate.
They did that with Parler.
Yeah, no, they were like, they immediately shut it down, and now Parler, to this day, I can't log in. It just always gives me an error code.
Which is odd, we'll have to check on that.
We will, but that's the thing. Social media and the internet and imagine just phone service gone.
Honestly, I kind of believe that would be the catalyst for an actual revolution here in the States.
Yeah, if they just stopped all that, that would be the point where everyone's like, okay, grab the guns. Okay, everyone, grab your guns. I imagine everyone in my apartment complex would get to know everyone else really quickly. But yeah, see, it's funny. Once again, people, you social justice retards can go to Cuba. We will gladly take those hardworking individuals that just want freedom. They are gladly accepted over here.
But didn't the Biden administration say not to come over?
I think originally, yeah. No, originally it was more along, we thought it was like actually him just like, nope, don't come over, because mainly a good portion of Cubans consider themselves Republicans. But it was more along the lines of they were trying to do it across waters, and people were like, you're probably going to die. But at the same time, we know with them busing children and illegal immigrants across the nation, which is something Tucker talked about, which we can't talk about because we will be destroyed. But the fact that most of Cubans kind of say they're Republican, I think has the thing why Biden doesn't want them here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad that once again, the communist idiots here in the United States get owned once more. Ha! Anywho, if you like this video, then check out the like button and subscribe for more.
Insanity.
And I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.
I see.